Hey guys, Bink here with Bink's Corvair Addiction. On this little video, I am going to be doing the wheel bearings. It's been kind of a while. I had taken them apart and went around to some of the auto parts stores around here and wasn't able to get the wheel bearing seals. So I had to order them from Clark's. So that took a while and kind of got pushed to the side on the back burner while I was welding and doing other work on here. And then I painted it, and then I went ahead and put new shocks on. So now it's time to do the wheel bearings and get those things finished. All right, so let's get to it. So hey guys, it's been a while since I did the last videos on the front spindles and the bearings and the seals. I had to order the seals from Clark's. I had went to O'Reilly's, and not too far from us here, like 2.5 miles. And I was at their desk trying to figure, they couldn't figure them out. They couldn't find me the seals. I'm like, okay, I gave up. So then I drove over to, on the way home, AutoZone's right down the road here, actually on our street on the end, and I popped in there and they weren't open for another like 20 minutes. So later that day I went back there. I figured, well, instead of ordering them, they're gonna take 10 days probably from Clark's. Most of it takes me 10 days to get. I ran down there and I had them on a computer. They couldn't figure nothing out, and they're pulling this, that. I'm like, that's not it. A spindle, front spindle, FCs. I'm explaining it. They can't figure out nothing. What good are these auto parts stores? It's ridiculous. It's just a seal, It's nothing, no big deal. And then they came up with one, and they said like $17 a seal or something like that, and they said we have to order it in, and we can't guarantee it's right, but you have to pay for it now. And I'm like, forget it. I says, I'll just order them. And I forget what they were. They're very inexpensive. I don't remember, but they were very cheap. So I ordered a couple sets of them right away. And then I figured, well, heck, I'll order some for the 64 for the front, just in case anyways, because they're cheap. They were out of them. They said they put me on their list when they get them in. So when they give me a ring or a message from Clark's, I'm going to order probably a couple sets, because now we picked up another early model. So anyways, like I said, it's been a few weeks. I've been under there painting and doing other things, and I had all this boxed up in a box, and I said, oh, I'm gonna come out here and just put it all together. So I pulled it out of the box, and I got the one here I didn't put the studs in, and I'm like, it's all rusty. I'm like, okay, I didn't finish it. And I'm like, okay, I have this one here. I'm like, I'm looking at it. I'm like, it looks brand new. I'm like, I was like, did I bead blast that? I'm like, no, I remembered I wasn't going to bead blast because I didn't want a chance to get anything in there and not get it out. So I'm like, what the heck? What? I couldn't remember. I'm like, oh yeah, I took some of this high heat. What is it? 550 degree. This is good paint. This stuff here. This VHT. I really do like this stuff. Dries nice. It's hard. It's got a good finish. It sprays nice. I painted it, so I couldn't remember. So I got the new seals. I have to dig up some longer cotter pins because these ones were just pushed in there, and they didn't even go all the way through the castle nut. So they were just in there. And I told Gary that he just cracked them up. I did order, these were only like $3 or something, or $3-4. I just ordered 2 caps anyways. The one was dented up a little bit, not much. It didn't really matter. But I'll just throw these, I clean these ones up. I'll just throw the old ones on the shelf for spares. This is the grease I'm gonna use. It's the Valvoline multi-vehicle. It's Moly. It's got Moly in it. Gary says Moly. So I should have got a tub of it too, because I was thinking more for pumping some into the back bearings. I ordered it. It came from Amazon, and both of them are all smacked up and damaged, the ends of them. I got that one in there. Hopefully it's gonna work. I'm like, because I couldn't find this just in the local stores here. So I ordered that. I said it they boxed it that way because it was wrapped in bubble and in a box, and it was all smacked up. I'm like, come on, guys. So the rear bearings, I'm still kind of scared about tearing them apart. I'm not going to tear them apart right now. I'm just going to do what I can. And some people said get the needle deals for your grease guns, and inject some grease in it. The one we pulled the dust cap off, Gary and I showed me, and maybe I could just clean it a bit and just pump some grease into them. I don't know. We'll get to that down the road, but I don't know if I should like take and put in a wash tank and try to clean it, but I won't get it all out. And I don't know, you know, I'm not sure about that. And I don't have the plate to press the bearings. I guess you got to press the bearings off and clean them all, put everything back together. So I think I'm just going to try to just use a needle greaser here and just get some in there. Gary hasn't been over in a while. I'll get him over here. He owes me some shop time. I gave him a set of rear end bearings, so in exchange he's gonna help me over here. He said, how much do I owe you? I said, well, they were $205. And he's like, you know, I mean, he's on a fixed income, so he doesn't have the extra, you know, pocket money there for that. So I said, don't worry about it. I said, you help me out. I said, just come on over. I'll pick you up and just put your head over my shoulders and make sure I'm doing some stuff right on that thing. So another thing I did is I did order a new grease gun. I was gonna order just the end that locks on to locks onto the end of the grease zerks, but I'm like, my grease gun has just seen better days. And then I don't know. It seems like every grease gun is just a freaking mess. And out here in Arizona, because in the summer it's 100 115, I have to put my grease gun in a plastic bag. I wrap rags around it here and back up here and here. I wrap a rag around it. I put it in plastic bags and put a bag over that, because every time I go to grab it, it's liquid soup. The grease just breaks down out here just from sitting. And that's a good grease. I don't buy just the cheap grease. I buy the good bearing grease, and it's just liquefied. So, and it's high temp. So how can it be, it just, this heat out here, it just melts stuff. So I will have to wire wheel this one and paint it. It's cold out here in the shop, but I can wire wheel it. I can warm it with the torch, just the propane torch just a little bit so the paint will dry. So I'll have to go out back and clean it because I don't want to dust up the shop. I will tape these off. I'll put that underground PVC, that rubbery tape on there. That's what I did last time. I'll put it in there and cut it. And I'll give this a clean and paint it. And I'll press the new studs in there and get that done. And then we'll pack these bearings. Now, I remember packing them from years ago. Like I don't have a tub of it. I have tubs of grease, but they say use the Moly. So, and you just sit there and keep working until you get this baby packed. So I'll do that. I'll clean this, push them studs in there, and find some longer cotter pins, and we'll be set to go. Well, let's get this cleaned up. I'm freezing out here. It's 54 out. I'm cold. All right, that looks pretty good. We'll call that good enough, and we're going to shop warm up and give this a coat of paint. Well, we got in here. I warmed it up with the propane torch just a little bit, just to make it warm. It's only 51 out, and it's kind of weird out here in Arizona. When the sun comes up, the temperature drops. So it'll probably get the 48, 49 out there in the next half an hour. It drop a few degrees and then it goes up. So we'll let this dry. All right, guys, so I'm gonna pack these bearings. I'm wearing gloves. I went down the road, AutoZone, it's just a few blocks down the road, and they actually had one of these tubs of grease. You know, ain't a very big tub, 1 pound. And because I only got the tubes, I don't want to save, you know, I'd rather use this. So I'm gonna pack these, and I haven't packed a bearing in so many years. I just know you use the palm of your hand, keep working that grease in them. Get them, like I said, I think there's bearing grease packers that presses it in, but I just remember using the palm of your hand. You have to keep sitting there and keep working it in, and just keep working it in. I don't know if it works so good with these gloves. What a mess, but I don't know. I said it was probably back when I was in high school. When I was in high school, I went to, I think my junior year, I had taken so many elective classes, there wasn't much left there, and they offered diesel mechanics, small engine repair at the college down the road, so I went there for that year for I think about 4 or 5 hours a day. And God, I don't know, maybe it's making it worse with gloves, because I remember you just keep packing in there and use the palm of your hand, keep squeezing that grease into the bearings. So I'll just work these in there, and then we'll go over there and start working on putting this together. All right. How the heck am I going to turn my camera off now? So, all right, guys, I'm putting my bearing seals in, and I got this greased, the bearings, and I screwed up, and I'm lucky I ordered 2 sets of these. I wasn't thinking, because that's me. I don't think sometimes, and I went and I tapped both the frickin' seals in there, and went over there. I was gonna put the bearings in, and I'm like, idiot. You know, I just felt like crap then, you know. So I pulled the old seals out, and I compromised the little spring that's in there. It goes around. It seemed like it got damaged a little bit. I tossed them away. These weren't very expensive, but that's not the point. The point is, think first, dummy. Ugh, I could kick myself in the pants. You know, I didn't want to say pants. So I took a little of this grease and I just wiped it in the inside of here and where the bearing goes. I just, you know, I don't know. I'm going to order some more from Clark's. Anyways. And for some reason I did mark this one as the driver's side. I'm going to put it back on the same side. So I got these all packed. I put some grease in there. I mean, I don't know how much more grease you need on it. Put a little extra on in here, I guess. Throw it in there. I said I've never did this before. I should probably watch the video. I don't know. I could take it, you put a little bit on there when you push it on, probably would help and get it on the right direction. So I'll tap this in for the second time. I feel stupid. And they wouldn't come out. They really were hard to get out. Really hard to get out. And like I said, I looked at them, and that little spring deal on there, it goes all the way around. It looked a little tweaked, so not gonna. I pulled it back out of the trash. I said, well, I'll save them for spares in case. I don't want them to get used. So it's in. So I'll put a little more extra in here, I guess. I don't know. It's probably more than you need, as long as they're greased, right? As long as they're greased good, they're full of grease. Throw them in there. And I'll just tap her in and hope that I'm doing it right, or I'll be tearing it apart again. And I guess if I get tear it apart again, I tear it apart again. You know, that's how you learn. I should probably hang those ones up that I wrecked and put a tag on it and something like a smart comment like, remember this, dummy. All right, we got them bearings in there. Now I guess maybe I continue and get it right. Get it right. All right, so I called Gary just to say hi and was talking to him and tell him what I was doing, and he asked me how the gaskets were here. And I said, there's no gaskets on there. He said, no. He said, go ahead and put some, I'm gonna use a gasket maker. He said, put some sealant around that to keep the dust out. You know, it doesn't go down here, but to keep the dust out and protect the bearing and stuff a little bit. So, I don't know, there was no gasket on here when I took it apart. It was just rust. So, we're gonna put a little bit around, I'm just gonna do on here, around here, and up, over, and around here a little bit. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put some of this right stuff on there. All right, so I hope I'm doing all this right. I had to pull out and look at one of my old ones here to see, because the backs are different than the fronts. And this one looks like it was fairly newer, replaced, and it's all rusty and crusty. So what I did, these are my new ones. I just shot a little heat-proof paint on it, you know, make it look pretty. I like that. Gary likes it. So I put a little bit of oil on this here, and you know, I cleaned all these up real nice. I blew that hole out. I just wiped a little oil on it. I put my safety washer on. It gets bent over the top of here. Put this on. I have a little right stuff I ran around the back side of this. I pushed it on there because Gary asked about a gasket. I said I didn't have one. I guess I could have made one if I had some gasket material, but that's how I put it on there. So I ran a little bit of that on there. Now I got to put this arm up, and I'm going to run a little, one's longer, one's shorter. The longer one goes on here, and I do believe they go this way. Yep, the bolts go through with the nut on the back. And these are actually lock nuts. I got it punched in there, so they're locks. And like I said, the long one goes to the thicker spot, the shorter one goes back there. And I hope I'm telling you all this right and doing it right, because it's just going off memory. And there is a right and left to these, and I did mark it driver's side. And the difference is this hole right up here that this goes through is off about a ½ inch or so from the other one. Everything else is the same, even this hole here, this slot. So is the same spot. Okay, that's probably for an adjusting, I think. I'm assuming. All new to me. Oh, I just stabbed myself with something pokey. Ooh, it's in there. Anyways, well, I'll dig that out of my finger, and I'll stick this in there and tighten it down. Don't know. Oh yeah, it's a little piece of wire wheel or something that was stuck in the cardboard. All right, I got the 2 bolts through. There's one, and there's the other one. And those nuts with the little dimples in it, they're the locking nuts. Those go in there. So we'll get those in there next. All right, I put some grease on here a little bit. Should I have? I don't know. I don't know. Bearings are greased. I got it all cleaned. Seals on in there. I don't know. So it'd be kind of nice to have Gary here just to babysit me. Just so I do stuff right. So give a little extra grease in there. A little extra grease on the bearing. I don't know. A little extra on it. I don't know. There we go. Okay. A little extra. I don't know. A little extra. I don't want a little extra too much. And we'll put that on a castle nut. Turns on clockwise, nothing backwards about it. And should grab the socket. 1 1/16 on it. And yeah, so I got a socket. It's kind of just hitting on where the hole is for the cotter pin. Yeah, get past it. There we go. Now, I don't know. You tighten it till it's just nice, and then back it up one, or if I back it up one, the nut's actually loose. I don't think it's supposed to be like that. Right there, it's nice. Yeah, right there, it's perfect. If I back it up there, it's not bad. It's just, it's loose, so right there, I can go just like that. It turns real nice. Leave it like that. Turns nice too, but I don't know. I don't know. I can just double check it with Gary, I guess. All right, I didn't get a hold of Gary, but I do have this figured out. I watched a couple YouTube videos, and it says tighten up the nut till it snugs, loosen it back up, and then manually do it with your fingers till you get it to where the pin will fit through, and then back it up 1 notch. So I'll probably take that one off and put a little more grease on. The video says some people, they grease the insides of these. I didn't grease the insides. I mean, I just wiped a little bit of grease. He says some people pack them in there with grease and some don't. I'm actually gonna put a little grease on where the bearing goes on here too. And even put a little bit on the back of here, in here a little bit. Why not? A little extra probably won't hurt nothing. That's what the seal's for, right? So there we go. I'm gonna slide that on there. Get the grease off my finger a little bit. Oops. Oof. Okay. We'll slide her on there real nice. And I want to put a little more grease on this bearing here. Just gonna pop a little more on there. I mean, I packed it. I'll put some more on there. And stuff her in there. Like that. Yeah. And I'll leave it just like that. I said I'll probably take the other side off, put a little more extra in there, And now that I know, I'm confident. That's my problem with this stuff. I haven't did it, so I'm not confident. I'm confident about it all, of what I'm doing. No problems. All right. Get that on there. I was told and seen and watched the videos. You just tighten it up a little bit. Okay. Now, I mean, I didn't over tighten. I'm just tightening a little bit. So tighten it so kind of make sure it's on there. Back it up till it's loose. Take your fingers and tighten it. And right there is where it would go through. But now I was told, when I watched all the videos, it said loosen it 1. So right there, it turns pretty nice, but it said it can't go any tighter. Every video said loosen it 1. And it said your nut should be like that. Now I got a little movement in there, back and forth. Now do I tighten it to that one? See, that one's loose. I ain't got the lay in there. See, that's what screws up with me. I like that better. It'll go a half a turn, 3/4 of a turn forward. I don't know. I like it right there. Because if I go back to that one, she's nice. This one here turns about half or so. I mean, it's still loose. It says your castle nut should be loose. So that's where I'm leaving it. It's loose, but it turns real nice and free. Did I do it right? I don't know. So what somebody says they do is they bend one up over it and they cut the other one off. I don't know. So that's what I should do. Bend one up over it. It says bends one up over it. Yeah. Maybe I should use a needle nose for that. It'd be better. And he said it cuts the other end off enough just so the cap fits on. See, the cap won't exactly fit on because it's hitting there. So I'll snip that little end off of there. And that's the way I'm leaving it. It's not over tightened. It's loose. But if I go to the next one won't tighten. This one here will be way loose. That's where I'm leaving it. All right, so I'm gonna snip this off a bit. I don't know. Still gonna let it hang out. See, now my cap will fit on there. Everything should be fine. That won't ever, yeah, that's fine. And I'm going to tap this in there. Try to tap it in there. Straight. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, she just wants to keep going back and forth. I'll get her. So guys, I gave up on trying to get these new ones on there. I cannot get it on there. I even got a 1 3/4 inch socket and put it on there, and I've been beating on it. I can't beat on it. It keeps going one way or the other way. I cannot get it. I don't know if I take my die grind that down a little bit, maybe, or my flapper on that thing, and see if I can get her to go in there. She will not go in there. All right, I'm back on the driver's side. I pulled it back off, and I had just grease everywhere. I just put a little bit more on the shaft and on the bearing there, just because. And I don't know. I overthink everything, and then I don't feel confident, but I'm confident now. And okay, I get that in. I'm gonna put this on the right way. Yeah, we'll get it on there. This still want to kind of touches a little bit, or kind of, I say almost, it's going on. There we go. There we go. And I'm just gonna, okay, there. And then we'll, let's see, back her up so she's finger tight. I was told tighten it till, okay, that's right where she'll go in. Where do I do with it? Here it is. Now it would go in right there, and it says back it up to the next one. There we go. That's what I'm doing. I can get it in that one there. I go right in, back it up to the one. That's what I was, watch all the videos. This one's got just a tad bit. What if I go, yeah, nope. It says it would wear and get warm, wear your bearings. There we go, you can feel it smoother. Okay, we got that. Bend it over. And I'm gonna actually, tap it with this one. I don't have my other hammer over here. And snip her a little bit so I'll snip her just enough so that. And now what I did is, because I couldn't get the Clark's one on there, and I put the original one back on. I took this one, I just took my flapper and just touched it up a little bit around that edge. Just around the edge a little bit. Didn't take much and not enough. And I'm gonna try, yeah, see, I mean, there we go. I didn't take much off. Okay, now I got that on there. All right, she's on. She looks like she's on there. Hopefully it won't fly off. That I did that. I didn't take much, just to edge off a little bit. So, all right, I guess I'm done with this. Let me know how I did. Like I said, I'm a little, I don't have a confidence in myself on some of this because I have never did it. So I watched a couple videos, watched 3 videos on how to do it. They said, take and tighten it up until she's snug. Back her up with the wrench. That's what they used. They didn't over tighten it, just till it was taut a little bit. Loosen it up. Then with your fingers, tighten it up until you can get your cotter pin through, and then back it up 1 notch. Put it through, you're done. That's it. The one side, I don't know, is this one or that one? When I did that, my finger tightened it to the one that would go through. I don't know what I'm trying to say. It was like a half a turn back. So do I leave it? When it went through, when I had it all the way tight, it was like a half a turn back. So do I pull it and go another click and put it in, or do I leave it 1.5? So I felt that it was kind of a little too loose with being 1.5 of the pinholes. So I left it at a half. I will double check with Gary and ask him what he thinks about that. If he thinks it's supposed to be, should be even looser, I will go ahead and pull it off and do it. So I said, and then I did grind that a little bit with my flapper. I just knocked the edge off a little bit and a little bit of galvanize, and so I could get it on. I couldn't get it on. It just kept rolling one way, the other way, the other way. I got the socket rolling, pounding, it wouldn't go in. It just wouldn't. So I'm gonna take the other one off, and I'm gonna do that this one just a little bit, and hopefully they should stay on. I mean, it tapped on pretty hard. So just maybe just a little bit of extra galvanized on there or something. Anyways, let me know how I did. Good, bad, ugly, don't like it. You suck. You should know better. Thumbs up. You did your best. That's the way I would have did it. I don't know. I don't care. Let me know, positive, negative. Should I have did something better, different? Should I use a different grease? I was told to use with Moly. I don't know. Here we go with greases. Everybody has their own that they like. So Gary said Moly, so that's what I put in there. And anyways, now I got to figure out the brakes. I'll have Gary maybe over here Saturday. I'll see if he wants to come over Saturday. I'll go pick him up, buy him breakfast, and he can show me the brakes. I got to do some other stuff on here that I'd just like him to just look over my shoulder. Like the brakes, he can show me how to do it. I can figure it out, but he can show me 1, 2, 3. He's like, oh, like this. But me, I'm doing it. Just tell me what to do. That's the way I learn, hands-on. I'm learning, I'm having fun. My confidence is going up. Next time I'll do the next one, I'll be able to fly through it because I'll be knowing what I'm doing. Like I said, I appreciate all the comments. Put any comments below. Oh yeah, another thing too is there's a left and right. A left and right on these. I took them out and I painted, because I just grabbed them and this was the one that went in there. Wasn't even thinking left and right. I know I had the fronts and I was kind of thinking, well, I was thinking, but I wasn't thinking where your line comes for here, where your line comes in, your brake line. And I thought, well, maybe the other side is going to be different. And I went to put it on, I'm like, oh yeah, there's no way that would fit on there. So grabbed another one. So you got this one and this one here, just 2 different numbers from Clark's. C1925, C1924. 24 is the driver's, 25 is the passenger's. And on the back of them, there's the bleeder on there. One had a cap, a rubber cap that kind of didn't stand there too well. The other one was missing the cap, so I have some rubber caps. So I found a nice one that fits on there and put it on each to keep it covered and clean. I'm gonna probably look on Amazon, see if they have like an assortment of these things. I've been using these things quite often. And I do have grease zert caps to put on here. I got some on there. And so I'm gonna go ahead and grease all that under there. I want Gary to look at all my steering under here because I do have new tie rod ends and stuff. I was planning on going ahead and doing those another day after I got this thing driving and running. You know, Gary wants me to keep fixing every little thing on here. And I said, Gary, it's gonna be 4 more months. I said, every time you tell me something else I should do, it's another 3 days, 2 days, a week. So that's something that can be fixed another day. Put them on. So anyways, again, let me know how I did. Comments below. I appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate all the comments. Everyone's been giving good comments and thumbs up. Please subscribe to the channel. That would help Jill and I out. Other than that, I'll be editing late again and getting this video out to you guys and cranking hours out here in the shop again. Appreciate you watching. Thanks for watching. Thanks, Corvair Addiction.